Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Do women really want intellectual men? I had to ask that question, and I don't usually do podcasts like this, but the other day I was just going through some random videos. I go outside of this particular section or sector of YouTube to look at stuff. Right? So I saw this thing, and it was from over in England. And a woman on the street was questioning women as to whether they prefer intellectual men or hunks. And the link is in the description box. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Now, it was interesting because all these women were like, oh, we prefer intellectual men. We prefer intellectual men. Right? Most of them, someone was like, yeah, no, we'd rather have a hunk. And then there were a few, they say, well, yeah, intellectual man with a good body build, that intellectual hunk. And that's ultimately what women prefer any damn way. So, even regardless of what they say, because I always question that when women say, oh, they prefer an intellectual guy, or, some say they want a sapiosexual. And, there is a part where they do want to click with a man's personality. And there are women who like that intellectual guy. But now, see, here's the issue I have with the statement. How do they know that he's going to be intellectual? And this is a global thing, because I know, especially in this sector, people think, well, yeah, all those white women saying they want an intellectual thing. But I personally seen white women and women from other cultures going crazy over the beefcake. Because, a lot of those same women over, especially over there, they might be hitting up Africa or the Caribbean or Turkey or Bali for a hunk. See, that's the thing. It sounds good for a woman to say that. But when you see who they go crazy over, that's something totally different. Because I'm saying, okay, intellectual man. First of all, and this has been something said in private, it's been said in public. I've seen it said just by television characters. Women make a decision like in the first few minutes, really the first few seconds, whether or not they're going to deal with a man. So my thing is, okay, I can deal with that. That's nature, because they looking a man up and down. They looking at everything. But when you talk intellect, how would you know that? What would draw? What's intellect is intangible. You can't tell by how someone's body build how intelligent they are. You can't. You can just tell they worked out. You can't tell by their style of clothes how intelligent they are. They just got some style. You can't tell, by the car they drive, anything, how intelligent they are. They could just have a good car or, good enough job to buy that car. Shoot. They could have won that car. You don't know anything about it. So when I see women say that, it's like, okay, but how do you tell at first? Because, you can't tell if somebody approaches them, like say somebody approach them, they speak well and everything. A lot of women get turned off if he's speaking on intellectual subjects. In fact, I've told some men, and they've actually went out, did what I said, and they won. I said, yeah, when you first meet them, don't get too serious. In fact, that's something generally said. Don't hit them with politics or religion. Don't have the conversation too serious. But what if their intellect is in those areas? What if they have the knowledge in different areas? A lot of women get turned off. Because I've heard several women of different races now, even different cultures. They meet a guy and they say, well, he was just born. Like many women will say these women on this thing said, oh, intellectual men. But I'm like, well, how would you know? You ain't even give that guy a chance to really show his intellect. Because how you going to show your intellect in 5 seconds? And then if you come up with, you start hitting some SAT words or something, a woman be like, nah. She ain't smiling or anything. She ain't feeling good. They don't get her in the feelings. Now, like I said, intellect can come in there, and there's some women who definitely like that, the so-called sapiosexuals. But, I was reading something about those sapiosexuals, and a couple of things I read that was, really getting into them say, yeah, they like that brain and everything. They like that intelligence, but they also like it on a good looking person. So I'm like, oh, well, wait. I mean, I can understand it's in there, but it's not a primary thing. And how often have you seen any woman of any culture take intellect over physical appearance or being a hunk or something? Unless that intellect also brings in a lot of money, and they plan on using that money, that intellect, and then bringing, they'll end up using that intellect against the guy, or just to get his money. Then cheat with the hunk. And I'm like, wow. Now, like I said, to be clear, yes, there are many women who sincerely like an intellect. There's many women who sincerely like an intellect. I mean, they really do. They really do. That's part of that, and that goes into that second part of how a man can hook a woman, and that's part of charisma. But that's a piece of it. But it's hard to like the intellect part. That's hard to show right away. Now, if they see a hunk, right, or a good-looking guy, or somebody stylish, somebody who draws their attention, and they meet him, they go on a date, and then he stimulates their mind. He hits them on the intellect, especially if they a type. Oh yeah, they like that. And like, honestly, I think the most honest women, and they're the ones who said, still want an intellect, but a guy in decent shape as well. They were the most honest. In fact, that's when I talk about my book, Nice Guys and Players. That's my main thing. That's the main thing I'm saying. Have both. Like, a man should have both anyway. But, when women say, oh, they want something, that sends a mixed message. And that's why a lot of guys, because if you think about it. All the guys who might call themselves nerdy or lame or brainy or something, if women really wanted the intellectual men, they wouldn't be complaining. It'd be the hunks complaining. They'd be like, oh, I can't get this woman or something. In fact, they'll try to attack the hunks for not supposedly having that level of intellect. But why are they attacking them? Because the hunks are getting the women. And it's a mixed message. And that's a crying shame. That's a crying shame, because you put that out there, but then when people see stuff. Because I'm going to tell you what. And, I got a lot of ladies who follow me, but I've told the ladies this. I've said it, and I always say this publicly. Always pay attention to what a woman does, not what she says. See, one of the things, women say a lot of stuff that's politically correct. These women on camera, and most of them don't want to be look like they, just shallow or whatever, care about the hunks. I mean, I've had that. I've done seminars. Like, I still remember, I talked about this before. Shoot, one day that woman might hear me. We in a seminar talking about Mr. Goodbar, the sexy type of man. And she was arguing me down how women wouldn't chase that type of man. She was arguing me down. But this was in front of people. When we got outside and it was just me, her, and a few of her friends who actually knew who she really was, she was like, damn right, she got a muscular young boy. So when I see stuff like that, it's like, I talked the other day, I think, when was it? Saturday, I think. I did a video about the mixed messages that are out here. And that's a big mixed message. And I think I know what has to happen. We have to get out here. Men have to get out. Well, people have to get out here and just be honest. They're going to say something, be honest. Yeah, they're going to catch some hell at first. But if you get a critical mass of people who are just honest, that'll change everything. Especially men need to hear that. Now, as far as if you're an intellectual type of guy, still keep it. Like I said, but you still going to need some bait to get them over there. And then you hit them with it. Their intellect it comes in there. But when somebody say strictly intellectual over it, I've never personally seen how that really worked for a guy. Seriously. And if they get them, when they do get them, shoot, they usually got problems with them, man. And they're usually ready to cheat. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Check out the link for yourselves. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.